Norm and Kim here with Mountain Beaches, and we are camping off-grid here in the desert of Arizona. We're living amongst rattlesnakes, scorpions with endless sun and wind, and today we're sharing some life updates with you. This is going to be a fun and interesting video, so let's get going.
Wow, so much has happened over the last 2 years.
2
right?
years. It's been 2 years that we've had Eagle Ridge. Can you believe it?
It's amazing.
Coming on our 3rd year, and so much has happened. And we want to share what we've done and what we've accomplished so far over 2 years, and what amazing things we have planned going forward for 2024.
And then at the end, we'll answer some of your most asked questions. So lots to cover in this
You don't
video.
want to miss that, because some of the questions we get asked are pretty good. We'll just leave it at that.
Yep. So we have notes to keep us on track here, but the first thing I feel like is buying of the property.
We purchased property in North Idaho, 10 acres. We absolutely love it. But it was an ordeal just to get it. We had put an offer in that was accepted on a different piece of property, sight unseen, because properties were just selling so fast,
quickly.
right?
Yeah, it was the height of the season.
Yeah, you know, the best advice we can give you is don't do what we do. Because we bought at the peak of the market. Buy high, sell low, right?
Right? Oh well, but we love it.
Yes. So we put an offer in, and it was accepted on a piece of property, sight unseen. We happened to be RVing down in Mexico at the time, and we needed to go up and see the property. So we made plans to get up and go take a look at it.
Yep.
And it was Easter weekend.
Easter weekend. Mm-hmm.
And we were actually flying back up to Spokane Easter Sunday. And the day before we did that, another property came on the market.
This one.
This property, Eagle Ridge, came on the market. And we saw that and we're like, oh, that's everything we're looking for.
Yes.
And once we got there, we went up and we looked at that property before we ever even went and looked at the property that we had an offer in. And
yep. We fell in love with it
immediately. Like, we were on the property for like 15 minutes, and we told our realtor, let's go back to your office and put an offer in on this property. And he's like, what? Wait, what?
But long story short, we did all of that. We had to wait beyond what the closing time was for them to accept our offers, but we got it.
We got it. We are in northern Idaho, and we bought some acreage.
We did. We finally did it.
Found our space.
It speaks to us.
We've been looking long and hard, and this was not an easy property to get.
No.
But we did it. Yes,
obviously.
Yes, and we just could not be happier. So
yep.
That was the start of Eagle Ridge, and it just keeps getting better from there.
It does.
Yeah.
It
so
does.
Once we got the property and we got up there, we wanted to build, and we weren't really sure exactly what we wanted to build.
We have gone the gamut on deciding what we wanted to do. And even now we still don't really know.
We're a log cabin, a conventional style home. And I knew I wanted a good size garage / shop. And so we kind of started seeing barn-dominiums. I'd never heard of barn-dominium before.
What is that?
We started looking more and more at those and thought, that's a good place to start.
But there's all sorts of options within the genre of barn-dominium.
Right.
So many things.
And we're going to take a break because we got to find where Jazz is.
She is right behind us.
Okay. Plus, everybody wants to see Jazz. Say hi. Say hi, Jazz. Say hi to our followers. Yeah, our friends.
Yes.
Yes. He just wants to lick and bite. The style. We finally narrowed it down and settled on a barn-dominium, and then it was try and find a contractor that specialized in barn-dominiums. And we started looking around, and we got prices, estimates that were all over the map.
Yep.
And we finally settled on one contractor. That's all they do is barn-dominiums. And
they've done a good job.
Now that it's been built, I'm pleased to say I'm glad we went with them.
Right.
Because I feel like they did a really good job. One thing that stood out to Kim and I when we first met the contractor himself, before that we'd always been talking with his wife who was coordinating everything, but when he came out to set the 4 corners for us, and he said, now you sure this is how you want it? Because now it's easier for me to move than it would be later. And then he said, you know, I'm building you a Cadillac.
No, I'm building you a Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, and it will be Ferrari quality. And so we talked about the contractor. Oh, the next thing that we started looking into was the well. We didn't have water at the property. We needed water, obviously, and we wanted to put a well in. So we started talking with well contractors and trying to get on their list, and everybody was so booked. 18
months to 24 months out.
And we're talking to them in like July. So they're November of the following year, but we had no other option. So we got on their list. That was a big eye-opener for both of us.
Yes, yeah. Well, lots of big eye-openers along the way.
So while we were up there that summer, we knew we were going to do part of the build. We weren't going to construct the building, but we were going to build out an apartment ourselves. We were going to do that work. So we wanted to brush up on our building skills. We've done some building in the past, but it's been a number of years. And so we decided, let's build a shed. We wanted a shed to store stuff in, so we built a shed, and it took us all summer to build a 10 by 10 shed.
So long, but we learned a lot.
We learned a ton, and we remembered things, and it turned out really nice. We like it. It's a really nice shed. I wish it was bigger.
It's a good thing that it's not a whole lot bigger, because we had to move it.
We did.
So I think that the size turned out.
When we started building, I scoped around, and I figured this is the perfect spot. It'll be out of the way.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. When our contractor finally got there, and he's looking around, he says, you couldn't have put that shed in a worse spot for us. We're going to need to move it.
Yep.
So, all right, the shed, and we love the shed, and we have a video. We actually have a time-lapse video, 10 minutes long, that shows the building of the shed. It's a pretty popular video. All right, so that takes us through the first summer up on our property. We're finishing the build, and then I got a call from my sister telling me my mom was dying, and we had to rush home and be with her, and thankfully we were.
Yep.
So then we came back after that for a little while, and then we got back home, wintered at our home in Utah. So then that brings us up to 2023, getting back up to the property and starting the barn door build.
Yes.
And that was, okay, we're going to start on this date. No, you mind if we move it to this date? How about if we move it to this date? We wanted to be there when it started. And we were not there. They called us up and said, we have an opening. We're starting next week.
But it didn't really turn out that way.
No, it didn't. They got a few things kind of started, but not really.
Yeah,
so
it all turned out great.
Yeah, it turned out perfect. So the biggest thing that took place, or several big things that took place last summer, the barn door build.
Yes.
And we absolutely love it.
Yes. We love the colors. We love the accent. We love the size. There's really not anything that we don't like at this point in time.
It's a 56-foot by 56-foot post frame construction barn-dominium, steel side, steel roof, and big garage doors.
Yeah. So beautiful garage doors.
Yeah, big tall garage doors so we can get our trailer in.
Yeah.
So that took, I mean, they off and on our project all summer long. The other big thing that took place was the well.
Yes. And that was so scary. We really wanted our well to produce a few more gallons per minute, but we're okay with what we've got 6+, probably 7 gallons per minute.
We need to back up because we told them we weren't going to be able to do the well until November.
Oh yeah.
So once we got up to the property, we came across another well driller, and I called him up and I said, what's your schedule like? And he said, I could probably get to you late spring, early summer. And we said, deal.
Yes, yeah. And they were wonderful to work with. Such nice young men.
Right. They did a great job. We got our well drilled, and at the end of every day, he'd be like, okay, this is how far we're at. what do you want to do?
Yeah.
and it was our decision to keep going deeper and deeper. And he got down, and he asked us again, and we said, come back tomorrow, but don't bring any more pipe. Just come and finish up where you're at. And as he was doing that and pulling his equipment out, the well collapsed.
Yes.
And that was
like
devastating.
Heartache.
That was devastating. Yes, when he told us that. But then he said, you know, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean your well is not going to be usable. We're going to do our best to recover.
Yep, and they did.
And they brought in this was a young guy in his 20s, and he was buying the business from a seasoned
well driller.
Yep. And he brought in the old guy the next day to be an advisor.
Yes.
And once I saw that, I felt confident, and they lined the well, they cleaned it out, and they salvaged it. It cost us a little bit more money, but we didn't have to start over.
Right. So the well's been great. We've been using the water. There's been some testing going on by the people that provided the pump, and you know, it's been great. We have no complaints.
No, we're 660 feet deep, and we're 6+ gallons per minute. It's a good well.
Yep.
We're happy.
Yep. What's next?
And it cost way more than we had budgeted.
Yeah, don't ask us.
Okay. All right. We also started on our solar.
Yes.
We got early in the summer, we got the stands all installed.
Yes, our daughter and son-in-law and their kids came up, and DJ helped get those installed. That was such a great help.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I could have got it done without his help. So,
right.
And of course, the very first hole we dug, what do? There's no utilities on our property. There's nothing. All 5 holes are dug and ready to go for the posts, and they turned out pretty good. Really happy with that. Let me show these to you. After hitting that pipe on the very first one, unbelievable. 10 acres of land, we have 1 pipe on the land, and we hit it. We're getting that fixed right now. DJ's down in the hole.
So I can't get back out.
They can get back out?
No.
Sure you can.
You probably have to use a ladder. Oh.
But there is a cistern, and we do have a spring at the bottom of the hill. Well, evidently there's an underground PVC pipe that goes from
We had no idea.
No, that goes from the spring up to the cistern, and we hit that pipe. 10 acres of land, and we hit the one pipe on our very first hole. So we fixed that and continued on. We got the stands all in, and then I wanted to let those settle. Not the stands settle, but all the dirt settle all around it. And so I didn't do anything for
months.
Yeah, for the rest of the summer. We watered them down frequently and just trying to compact as best we could that ground that we had to disturb and dig up.
Yeah, because those solar panels and all the stanchions, or whatever you call them, are heavy.
It's heavy, and you can get wind. You know, the wind is going to be pushing on those, so we wanted it to be as solid as possible, so that we waited. A lot of people were wondering, why didn't you work on those? Well, that's why. We were waiting for those stands to be as best as they possibly could be, and then late in the fall, Kim and I installed the panels.
Yes. And
we got that done. So we're so happy with that. We love it and can't wait for the next step on the solar.
Right. And we do have conduit running from the barn dominium out to the solar. So the next thing will be pulling the wire, you know, and we say just pulling the wire. I have a feeling that just word is going to go away. It'll be more difficult than we anticipate, but everything is.
So the other thing Kim and I did was we installed the pipe for the radiant floor heating. You know, we have a concrete slab for the garage, and it has radiant floor heating throughout the entire garage. We have different zones for the apartment and the garage. So we did all of that. That was, and your sister and brother-in-law came out and helped on that project, and that was huge.
Michael helped a lot on that.
So we did that in late summer, early fall, I don't remember. And then in the fall, we got some snow, and then we got a lot of rain. It's been a really weird winter and fall. We've had unusual amount of rain.
Yep.
And we were having flooding, and we had to do emergency trenching and grading and. That was an eye-opener as well, a learning experience. And
we have had so many learning experiences. It's wonderful to learn, to continue to learn as you go along. Now, if it costs too much, it's not such a wonderful experience,
right.
But it's nice to learn new things,
yes.
I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm being serious.
Yeah, absolutely. And there hasn't been anything that has been insurmountable for us. We just persevere on, we try and figure things out, and we go forward.
Yep.
We don't do everything right, and so that is one reason this is not a how-to channel. It's a we-do channel,
and don't do it like us.
But another thing that message we want to leave is, we're both 67 years old. If we can do this, you guys can do it. We hear so many times, "Oh, I could never do that. I can't do that. I don't have those skills." We don't have those skills.
No.
As many of you will tell us.
Many of you have told us.
We don't have those skills and we don't know what we're doing. And you're not wrong. But we're doing it anyway.
We're doing it, and we're having fun while we do it.
All right. Then we also started work on insulating the barn door. We didn't get too far on that. We got one wall. So that's still to do, but that's progress that we made.
We got the septic system put in.
Oh, totally forgot that. We got the septic in, so that's huge. And here's another obstacle we came upon. We got the building up, and we called our insurance agent to get insurance, and he said, "Won't cover you.
Yep.
You're in too high of a danger zone."
Yeah, danger zone. Fire zone.
Yeah. And it's like, what? And so then we called another agent, and they're like,
nope.
If you would have called me 2 years ago, wouldn't have been a problem at all, but can't do it.
Yep.
And we called another, and nobody would insure us.
Yeah, at that point in time.
Right.
And then I got looking around and found a local independent agent, and she was wonderful. She was like, tell me all about your property, and I'm sure we'll be able to find someone to insure you. And lo and behold, she did.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't, I thought it was going to be horrendously expensive, and it wasn't actually too bad.
No, we have insurance now.
Yes, we are insured.
I mean, we had liability insurance all along, but the fire insurance we could never get. So that was a part of the learning curve. Okay, the past. Now, looking forward into 2024, what is going on at Eagle Ridge in 2024?
Eagle Ridge
Resort and Spa. So what's going on in 2024?
So many things. So the first thing we're going to do is finish insulating the building. Totally get all the outside walls insulated. And we've got the right kind of insulation now. We've done a few walls or a few sections of that one wall, and we finally think we know what we're doing. So next we're going to do what?
So everybody keeps asking why I haven't finished the solar yet. Well, it's because of this. We need a place to put the solar equipment besides just in the barn-dominium. Our plan is to put it in a utility room. I have to build the utility room. Before I can build the utility room, I have to insulate the exterior walls. So it's one of those, you got to step 1, step 2, step 3, and then you can get to the meat.
The meat of the whole thing.
Yeah, which is the solar in this case. So we'll get the insulation finished. I'll get the utility room framed out and the walls up for that, so we have a place to hang our inverters and put our batteries, and
then we'll pull the wire.
And pull the wire and get everything hooked up, and then we'll have electricity. So that's kind of the order of things, and a little bit of an explanation. So solar.
We've got to get the wood fire boiler installed. People have asked why we haven't done that yet. And the fact of the matter is we've just had other things to do that come before that.
Because
That didn't last long.
We got a Jazz crying in the background. Hold on. Come on. Okay. Okay, good girl. All right, so the wood fire boiler. We're going to get that going and installed. That's on our list for this year as well. That'll be summertime. I am so excited for that, to get that thing going and the hot water, and then we'll be pumping that through the floor for our radiant floor heating. So
yep.
It can also heat a hot tub.
Yes, because what resort and spa doesn't have a hot tub?
Yeah. So we're looking forward to getting that running. It's going to take some work. And then the other big thing is we're going to start work on the apartment build out inside the barndominium.
Yes. So that's kind of what the other thing that we haven't mentioned, wasn't on your list, that you've already seen some of, but I really enjoy splitting wood and chipping. And I want to get that hammock forest all park-like. Yeah. And so that's something we'll be working on wood cutting. We cut about 6 cord of wood last summer in hopes of needing it this winter, but it's still sitting there and still good for us to use this next year. Yep. And then we'll start cutting wood for the next year. Yeah. Our goal is to be able to live up there all winter long next year and just come and go as we please. So in order to do that though, Kim, we got to have a backup energy source. Yes.
So we need to, another thing on our list is a backup generator that'll automatically kick in if our batteries get down to a certain level and be propane based. Backup
upon backup.
All right, so we got our work cut out for us. Lots of projects, lots of exciting videos coming up, but for the next few weeks, we're enjoying the desert, and we're actually going to be going down into Mexico with our RV, and so for the next few weeks, our videos are going to be hit and miss.
Hit and miss, yep, but I'm just looking forward to having that option to come and go, to having all the infrastructure in place so that we can come and go as we can. And I know that we're going to have a big learning curve and figure all this out as we go, but we're getting closer, hun.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, Kim's wearing a tank top and it's still winter. So how many of you are in the snow? Eagle Ridge is in the snow.
Yep. And we don't mind being in the snow. We liked being in the snow, but we do like the beach and the warmth too. So we are fortunate to be able to choose what we want to do.
The vast majority of you guys are amazing. 99.999% are amazing. You give us awesome comments and advice. There's just a few that just
naysayers
stick out, and they're the ones that just tell us we have no clue what we're doing. We had somebody tell us we need to put a for sale sign up on that property
and get out of there.
Get out of there while we still can. And you know what? We have no intention of doing that. So
we have people just beyond concerned that Jazz is going to get nabbed by a predator, and why don't we keep her on a leash and all of that. And I'm like, you know what? She loves running out through the property. We never leave her out on her own. We always are by her side or close by when we're out there. And I am not keeping her on a leash up there. No, that is not happening.
We just could not do that to her. That would just kill her spirit.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the concern. We understand it, but yeah, we're gonna do us.
Yep.
And what's best for us and Jess. So here's some questions that you guys have given us that are good questions. I think we already answered this first one. Why haven't you completed the solar setup and installed the wood boiler?
Yeah,
we've talked about that one. That's a great question, and I totally get where people are coming from. Although another comment that stuck out was, you know, I bought the solar panels a long time ago, and we hadn't done anything with them for a year.
Yep.
And we had a comment. Somebody decided they needed to tell me that I'm lazy because I haven't done anything with those solar panels yet. Well, Being lazy has nothing to do with it. They were on a super screaming deal, and so I bought them knowing I wouldn't do anything with them for probably a year. So
yeah, but you are lazy.
Okay.
You're a lazy
well,
butt.
you know. Okay, some of the specs. People want to know what the specs are on our solar setup. We currently have 16.7 kilowatts of solar panels installed. We have 10 more that we purchased. We're going to put, I think we have space for 4 more, or maybe it's 6 more, I don't remember, on the stand itself, and we'll have a few extras. And I think it'll bring it up to 18 point something kilowatts. We have 2 15 kilowatt inverters. I think I said that right. And about 60 kilowatts in battery storage. Why so much battery storage? Because winters are frequently cloudy and not a lot of sun, especially from about middle of December to beginning of February.
Yeah, the days are short. In the winter time, we lose sun at 3:30. So yeah. The days are short.
So we won't be generating much solar, but we have a big solar array, so what we do get will make a difference.
Yeah.
Another question we get is why in the world did we pick Idaho and North Idaho? Don't you know it snows there?
You know what? If you know, you know. If you've been there, you get it. It is absolutely gorgeous. The little town of Sandpoint is just so cute. Great restaurants, cute little shops.
Very vibrant.
Very vibrant. We have a Home Depot close enough. There's a ski resort there. There's a huge Lake Pend Oreille. There's so many wonderful things about that area. But it snows. Guess what? We're used to the snow.
We've been living in snow country in Utah for over 30 years. We get snow. So.
And you know what? If it snows too bad, we know how to leave. So.
And we do. We're in the desert right now. People want to know what kind of dog Jazz is. Jazz is a Cavapoo.
Yep.
That's a cross between a King Cavalier,
and
a
poodle. Yep. And our daughter has her mama dog, and we just fell in love with her. We have had dogs in the past. Always
lots
labs.
Of dogs.
Yeah. And
we had a poodle.
We had a poodle when we first got married, and then we had labs after that. And we love to have dogs, but they tie you down. And so we wanted to be at a place in our lives that we could dedicate some time and effort towards Jazz.
Oh,
now,
a dog was not in the plan.
No.
A dog was not in the plan for now.
And the thing that did it for us was when our daughter Lauren handed Jazz to me and said, "Mom, I think you need her."
And then we both just fell in love with Jazz.
We both fell in love with her.
Okay, next question. Don't you get lonely and up on your property all by yourself? And along with that, don't you miss your kids and your grandkids? I could never do that, what you guys are doing living out there.
Right. So, do we get lonely?
No.
We don't get lonely.
We kind of like being off alone.
Well, we're a bit of hermits.
A bit.
A bit. Do we miss our kids and grandkids? Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. And when we go back to Utah, they all live in that area. We go to as many things as we can. We see them. We interact in that. They have their own busy lives. And
we've had two of our kids and their families come up to our property. We have another one is coming this summer.
Yep.
So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
I like the idea of having a place, big enough place, that if all the kids needed to come for some reason or another, you know, the world is a bit crazy right now, we have that place. So it gives me peace of mind now, whether hopefully no one will ever have to take us up on that, but we have that place.
All right, do you plan to live full-time at Eagle Ridge? Yes and no. We don't know.
We don't know.
Is the short answer. We want to live up there and experience a winter up there, or at least a good part of a winter up there. We still own our home in Utah. We haven't decided what we're doing with that, so that's a big unknown.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Yep.
Are you going to build a house up there?
Well,
that's another stay tuned.
Yeah, that's another stay tuned. But when we couldn't get insurance, that was a hard no. We didn't want to invest any more money into a home. Now that we can get insurance, it opens up our options. But stay tuned. We really don't know.
Right. Okay. Last question. Aren't you too old to start a project like this? No, we're not. We are not. This keeps us young and vibrant. And one of the comments in the one of the recent videos, or last week's video, about I got the tractor stuck in the snow and I was shoveling, and multiple comments about I'm going to have a heart attack. I might.
Yep.
You might. We all could have a heart attack for any reason or no reason, but I feel like I'm in decent shape. And I know my limits, and so yeah.
You know what? I feel like everybody should be as active as they want to be, and if for some reason you kick the bucket while you're doing that, well, what a better life. You know, you're doing what you love to do, and something happened. That's how I look at it.
Okay, another comment on that tractor stuck in the snow video. The problem is not the snow, but the way you drive. By the way, your wife drives better than you. Okay. I guess you would know, right? So, okay, here's another. We want to include some positive ones on here, but love your videos, and thank you. Thank you guys so much. We are so honored to have you, our friends, watching our videos week in and week out.
And we love the comments.
Love your videos, and yes, this is a huge undertaking for anyone. Many people just don't understand about being in a remote area. There are so many pluses and of course a few minuses. There is no place like home. Good luck. Love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And most of the comments are along those lines, or people genuinely trying to help us with
giving
their own knowledge base.
Right. Giving us good criticism, not mean criticism. That's what the lion's share of them are.
Yeah. Oh, by far. Okay. So Kim doesn't know about this next part.
Oh dear.
So I have a few questions for her that she is not prepared and hasn't heard what they are. What was the #1 comment from last week's video on getting stuck in the snow?
Oh, well, it was crazy. The week before, the comments were, we have a 4-wheel drive tractor and we didn't need chains.
And go and return those.
And go and return those. And then on this week's video, it was, of course you need chains. You should have put chains on there before you even started. So it was, for me, I don't know if that was the #1 or not, but it was about chains, no chains, no chains, chains, no chains.
And also right up there was, get a snowblower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But we have a snow plow, and I can't just go, I mean, it may seem like it, but I can't just go out and buy anything and everything. A snow blower for my tractor would be very expensive.
Yep, and we may get one at some point.
We may get one at some point, maybe even for next winter, I don't know. But right now, we have a snow plow, so we're making do with that, and I totally understand the advantages of the snow blower. It throws the snow way out there.
Yep.
So those were the top 2 questions. Okay, what do you think our most popular off-grid video has been? And for those of you that don't know and have been following us, we started our channel as an RV traveling channel. And then a few years ago when we bought the property, we switched to off-grid living. So this our most popular off-grid video. Yeah.
Oh, I should know this because I look at it every day.
She should.
It wasn't the last one.
No.
It wasn't. It was the one before.
No, of all of our videos, going all the way back to when we bought the property.
I don't know.
Our well drilling.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We drilled a well, and that has 80,000 views.
Okay.
Over 80,000 views, which is so awesome.
Now, if you ask me what our most popular video ever...
That's the next question.
That's the Blackstone.
Yes.
I knew that one.
Yeah. And we still have that video up for anybody that wants to view it, but we did a review of the Blackstone, 17-inch Blackstone griddle. 140,000 views on that video, which is just mind-blowing. She won't know this one, but how many videos do you think we have produced in total, including the RV videos and the off-grid?
Well, We've been doing videos for,
I don't even know how long.
How long?
5
6 years?
Yeah,
6 years, something like that. And if we did one every week, which we don't, so say 40 a year at 6 years, that's 240 videos. Is that right?
301. Last
Really?
week's video was 301. This is 302. I can't believe it. I didn't. That blew me away. How many views in total all time do we
I have
have?
no clue. No clue.
3.1 million. Is that insane or what?
Why would anybody?
3.1 million times people have watched our videos.
Why?
Don't say it like that. They're going to think we have a crummy channel.
Well, no, we're just us, you know?
That's just unbelievable. And we thank you guys.
Yeah.
It's you guys watching them.
Wow.
And many of you watching them week in, week out. It's amazing. It's mind-boggling. 3.1 million.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to bring up one other point before we close.
Okay.
A lot of people are wondering why they're not seeing our videos. We had somebody contact us recently saying
they're not seeing the videos.
Oh, no, they didn't contact us. We met them.
Yeah.
And they said, you guys, why haven't you put out a video in such a long time? And I'm like, what do you mean? We put out a video every week. And they said, well, I don't ever see your videos anymore. And I said, well, are you sure you're subscribed? And he said, yeah, I know I subscribed. And it turns out somewhere along the way, YouTube had unsubscribed him and wasn't showing him our videos anymore. So, and I've heard this from a lot of other YouTube channels.
Yep.
YouTube is unsubscribing them for some reason. So if you're not seeing our videos, and even if you are, just go double check. And make sure that you're
still subscribed.
And check the notification bell. That way you'll know when we put out a video. YouTube will show you that we've put one out. And then you choose whether you want to watch it or not, but at least you'll know. And you won't be wondering, why aren't we putting out videos anymore?
Cute.
So we're going to close the video. We're going to go for a walk here in the desert. Thanks so much. We'll catch you guys soon.
See you later.